Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I would be surprised if you have not seen this book around because it's pretty popular, not only in a booktube, but out in the real world where humans live and stuff. But if you don't know what this book is about, we follow this girl named Clary who one night decides to go out clubbing with one of her friends named Simon. And let's just say madness ensues because when Clary enters the club, she sees three teenagers covered in tattoos commit a murder. The thing about this murder is that Clary is the only one that saw it happen, and the man that appeared to be murdered just kind of disappears. Clary at this point is completely confused and just thinks that she's going insane, but she later finds out that this man that was murdered was not actually a man, but he was a demon, and the three teenagers that committed the murder were actually shadow hunters. Now you might be wondering, what are shadow hunters? Shadow hunters are warriors who are dedicated to ridding the world of demons, and Clary is thrown into the shadow hunter world when an important person in her life goes missing. For the most part, I really enjoyed this book, but I did have quite a few problems with it. One of the main problems that I had with this book was the information dumps that happened throughout the story. I feel like it just really slows down the plot, and it makes it hard to keep the reader's attention. Now, this is my second time reading this book, but before I even powered through the whole story, I had tried reading it at least 3 times, and there was this point in the story where I just kept getting stuck, and it was during one of the information dumps because I just kept getting bored and I just kept pushing the book away, and so finally I was able to get through those information dumps. And overall, this story is super entertaining. The characters are super fascinating, and there's a lot of action that is just so much fun to read about. If you haven't read this book, I would definitely give it a shot. The world that Cassandra Clare has built up is just super interesting, and I'm really excited to see where the rest of the series goes. So if you have not read this book, skedaddle because I'm getting ready to go into a spoilery section. And if you have read this book, then you're more than welcome to stay. In fact, you're encouraged to stay. Please stay and talk with me about the Mortal Instruments. Please don't leave, don't leave. Stay and talk, let's talk. Okay, let's talk. Let's really talk. I'm gonna start talking about the characters because I feel like the story is built up of some amazing characters, and there are quite a few characters that I have problems with, but overall the characters are really interesting. I'm not really sure how I feel about Clary at this point, and I think one of the reasons that I'm unsure about her is just because she makes a lot of stupid decisions. She doesn't think about the things that she does and how they affect the people around her. And that might have to do with Clary's age or just the fact that she's going through so much throughout this book. In fact, while reading this, I had to constantly remind myself that this world is completely new to Clary, and of course she's gonna make stupid decisions because everything is new to her. And she was just thrust into this world and her mother is missing, so she's just going through so much in this book, so of course she's gonna mess up and make stupid decisions. I just realized I'm still holding this book, so I'm gonna put it on display now. Much better. Also, Clary has to deal with the fact that her mother has been lying to her whole freaking life. Hot diggity dang, I would have been pissed if my mama had been lying to me my whole life. I would have been like, who do you think you are? Running around leaving scars, collecting your jar of hearts. Yeah. Now let's move on to Jace. I have a hard time understanding what the appeal is of Jace. I know that so many people love him. In the Mortal Instruments fandom, everybody's like, Jace, Jace, Jace! And I'm like, I don't see it! Maybe his character gets better in the next few books, but as for now, in the City of Bones, he's a douchebag. He's full of himself, he's so cocky, I don't get it. Help. And I usually like confident characters, but I feel like Jace was more so obsessed with himself. Now let's talk about Simon, who everybody seems to be annoyed by, but I myself did not have any problems with Simon. I really like Simon. I am Team Simon. Even though I don't really ship Simon and Clary, I more so ship Simon and Isabelle for some reason. I really want to see them end up together. Please let that be a thing that happens because I want Simon and Isabelle to get together because I don't know why, but I love the idea of them getting together. I feel like Simon just really lightens up this book. He is always there to add some humor into the story, and I feel like he really balances out Jace's cocky character. He does come off as a bit annoying because he is like obsessed with Clary and he just won't let it go. But for the most part, I love Simon. I think he's great. Now as for Isabelle, I freaking love Isabelle. I want to marry Isabelle. Even though I ship Simon and Isabelle, I also ship Jesse and Isabelle, I'd be down for that. She's just such a confident and fun character, and I just love her. I just want more of Isabelle though, because I feel like we don't see that much of her, which I understand because she's a side character, obviously. But these books are big. I mean, give Isabelle some more time in the books. Like, let us see more Isabelle, please. Please, Cassandra Clare, I'd love that. Now let's talk about Alec. I thought that it was really interesting to find out that he was in love with Jace. I wasn't really expecting that at all. And I also think it's really funny how much he despises Clary and how obvious he makes it. I am really interested to see if Clary and Alec ever become really good friends throughout the series. Like, I really want to see them become friends. And I feel like Alec will eventually move on from Jace and move on to somebody else. So that'll be interesting to see as well, because I don't think that he'll stay obsessed with Jace throughout this whole story. I think he'll move on to other people. Also, all we really see of Alec in this book is him just hating on Clary and despising Clary. So hopefully we get something else from Alec in the next few books, because right now just don't really know that much about him, just that he despises Clary and he loves Jace. When we're first introduced to Hodge, I really liked him. I thought he was awesome. He's kind of like Dumbledore from Harry Potter. He's definitely like that leader. But then Hodge, what are you doing? He betrays them. He freaking betrays the Shadow Hunters that he has been mentoring for so long. Just goes and just betrays them. How dare you? I was not expecting that at all though. I was not anticipating Hodge to betray these kids that he's been mentoring. It definitely shocked me. I was completely shocked. I'm still not over it, still not okay with it. Oh man. And then we have Magnus Dane, who I had the hardest time picturing him. I honestly just pictured him as a walking cat, like a human cat kind of thing. Mostly just because his eyes were like cat eyes or something. I think they were described as cat eyes. I couldn't get this image out of my head that he was just like a human cat. He seems to be a very interesting character, and I'm also interested to see his role in the series, because I feel like we'll probably see him in the next few books. And I think he'll probably end up being like Alec's mentor or something. I really liked Luke, and I think that he was such a nice father figure for Clary. I think that at some point we'll find out that Luke is just like madly in love with Clary's mom. It's not so much revealed in this first book, obviously, but there's no way that he does not have feelings for Clary's mom. It seems that he's been there with Jocelyn through thick and thin, and I think that at some point it'll be revealed that they are just lovers or something, or that they've been seeing each other and they just haven't told Clary, they've been keeping it a secret. But I don't know, I'm interested to see. Also, I was shocked to find out that he was a werewolf. Did not see that coming at all, and I think that that just makes his character even more awesome. I really don't have anything to say about Jocelyn though, because like, we don't really see her that much in this book, and all we know is that she hid this whole world from her daughter. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because look at the mess you got yourself into, Jocelyn. Look at the freaking mess you got yourself into. And also she's a little bit, you know, like unconscious, so I don't really know that much about Jocelyn yet, but I'm sure I will learn more about her in the series. Quite a few things in this book were predictable to me, and also I had been spoiled for a few things in this book, which it didn't really ruin the experience of me reading the book, but still I knew things that were gonna happen, so I was kind of anticipating them happening. Like the whole Clary and Jace being brother and sister thing. I knew that was gonna happen in the end because somebody spoiled it for me. But that's okay, I already know what ends up with that situation, but I'm not gonna spoil it just in case you've only read The City of Bones. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I know something happens. I'm not gonna say. I was shocked to find out though that Valentine was their father. I didn't know that was gonna be a thing that happened, but I kind of predicted it a little bit because I think that we had hints on the way through, but I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to be the dad. I feel like the end of the book was kind of a little bit of a buzzkill, to be honest. We have this epic battle and all these things are happening, and Valentine just gets away. He grabs the mortal cup and disappears, and Clary's mother is left unconscious. I'm really intrigued to see where the story goes. Please do not tell me anything that happens in the series because I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to be spoiled at all. But let me know your thoughts on City of Bones. Let me know your just general thoughts on the story. If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, because I know it's either you loved it or you hated it or you're just in the middle. So let me know where you're at on the City of Bones map. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon with a new video. Later.